Nobody is going to wake you up. Nobody is going to come and see your dream. You know that's right?
When you woke up this morning, did someone call you and say, "Hey, I saw your diploma. I want to help you"?
No, they didn't. Because your diploma is under your bed. It's not hanging on the wall. It's not in your hand. It's under your bed, collecting dust, while you are sitting in a meeting, not saying anything. You have a degree. Maybe you have 2 degrees. You studied hard. You worked so hard. You sacrificed so much. Your family was proud of you. But now you're in America. And somehow your diploma doesn't work the same way anymore. So what do? You hide it. You don't talk about your education. You don't talk about what you know. You smile and you listen. And you pretend you don't have anything important to say. You make yourself small so other people feel comfortable. And every time you sit quiet in that meeting, every time you don't raise your hand, every time you think, my English is not good enough, something happens inside you. Your fear gets bigger. You see, the problem is not your diploma. Your diploma is real. It is under your bed, yes, but it is real. The problem is not your English. Many people speak English with an accent. Many people speak English and make mistakes. But they talk anyway. The problem is your fear. Your fear is in your head. And unlike your diploma, your fear does not need anyone to recognize it. Your fear recognizes itself. It grows. It spreads. It gets louder every single day. You are afraid people will judge you. You are afraid they will laugh at your accent. You are afraid they will think you are not smart. You are afraid that one day someone will say, "Where did you really get that degree?" So you stay quiet. And every day you stay quiet, you become more invisible than you already are. You are invisible at work. People don't see your ideas. You have good ideas, but they don't come out of your mouth, so they don't exist. Your co-workers get promoted. They talk in meetings. They are loud. They are seen. And you are the invisible professional. But here is what happens when you keep your fear in your head and your diploma under your bed. You start to believe the law. You start to believe that maybe your degree doesn't count here. Maybe you're not smart enough. Maybe you don't belong. Maybe America made a mistake when they let you in. And that lie grows. It becomes your story. It becomes how you see yourself. Years pass. 5 years, 10 years, and you are still in the same place. Still invisible, still afraid, still wondering what would have happened if you had just spoken up, if you had just been brave enough to be seen. That is what happens when you do nothing. That is the cost of staying silent. But what if? What if there is another way? What if your diploma doesn't have to stay under your bed? What if your fear doesn't have to stay in your head? In today's lesson, I want to tell you a story. It is a story about a woman who was exactly where you are. She had a degree. She had knowledge. She had value. But she was invisible. And then something changed. She made a choice. And in her story, you will find the answer to your own. You will see that being seen is not about having perfect English. Being seen is not about being louder than everyone else. Being seen is about knowing who you are and having the courage to let other people know it too. So stay with me, because today we are going to take your diploma out from under your bed. We are going to silence that fear in your head, and we are going to help the world see you, the real you. Before we go into the story, I want to give you some tools. These are not just words. These are weapons. These are ideas that will help you understand what comes next. Let me introduce 5 words. Listen carefully, because these 5 words will change how you think about yourself. Word number 1, diploma. A diploma is a piece of paper that says you studied something. You learned it. You passed the test. You earned it. But here is the truth that nobody tells you. Your diploma is not just a piece of paper under your bed. Your diploma is proof that you can learn hard things. It is proof that you can push through difficulty. It is proof that you have knowledge that other people do not have. In your home country, people understood this. Your diploma meant something. People respected it.
Your family was proud of it.
But when you came to America, something changed. You started to believe that your diploma only counts if people can see it, only if people talk about it, only if people recognize it. That is the first lie. Your diploma is real whether people see it or not. Word number 2. Number 2, confidence. Confidence does not mean you never feel afraid. Confidence does not mean you speak perfect English. Confidence does not mean you know all the answers. Confidence means you speak anyway. Confidence means you raise your hand even though you are nervous. Confidence means you say what you think, even though your voice shakes a little bit. Confidence is not something you are born with. Confidence is something you build. You build it every single time you do something that scares you. So today, you might not feel confident, but you can act confident. And when you act confident, something changes inside you. Your brain starts to believe it. This is not just psychology. This is neuroscience. When you move your body like a confident person, when you speak like a confident person, your brain actually changes. Your brain says, "Oh, she is confident. Let me believe that too." Word number 3, invisible. Invisible means people cannot see you, but not because you are not there. You are there. You exist. You have value. Invisible means people do not see you because you do not let them. Many people in America are invisible. Not because of their accent, not because of their diploma, but because they do not speak up. They do not share their ideas. They do not let people know who they are. The invisible professional is someone who has value but hides it. And here is something important. If you're invisible, it is not because America is bad. It is not because your accent is too strong. It is not because your diploma is from another country. You are invisible because you chose to be invisible. And here is the good news. If you chose to be invisible, you can choose to be visible instead. Word number 4, value. Your value is what you bring to other people. It is what you know. It is what you can do. It is how you help people. Many immigrants think their value disappeared when they came to America. They think, my diploma does not count. My experience does not count. So I have no value. This is wrong. Your value is still there. You learned it. You earned it. It lives inside you. But here is the truth. If you do not share your value, nobody will know it exists. Your boss cannot read your mind. Your co-workers cannot feel your knowledge. They can only know what you show them. So when you stay quiet, you are not protecting yourself. You are hiding your value. And when you hide your value, you are saying to the world, I do not matter, but you do matter. Your knowledge matters. Your experience matters. Your ideas matter. Word number 5, fear. Fear is an emotion. It is a feeling in your body. It tells you that something bad might happen. And sometimes fear is good. Fear keeps us safe. Fear stops us from doing dangerous things. But most of the time, fear lies to you. Fear tells you that people will judge you if you speak up. And maybe they will. Maybe one person will judge you, but most people will not. Most people will respect you for being brave. Fear tells you that your English is not good enough. But fear does not tell you that many successful people speak English with an accent. Fear does not tell you that your ideas are still good ideas, even if you say them slowly. Fear tells you that you do not belong in America. But fear does not tell you that you worked hard to get here. Fear does not tell you that you have already survived so much. Fear lives in your head, and it stays there as long as you let it stay there. But you do not have to let it stay. These 5 words are the foundation: diploma, confidence, invisible, value, fear. As we go into the story now, I want you to hold these words in your mind, because the woman in our story, she learned these words too, and her life changed, and your life can change too. Are you ready to hear her story? Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was 10 years old when she decided. She was sitting in her small room in Manila, Philippines. The sun was hot. The fan was making noise, and she was reading a book about engineering. She did not know any engineers. She did not know anyone who had traveled far from home. But in that book, she read about bridges. She read about how people built things that lasted forever. And she thought, I want to do that. I want to build something that matters. Her parents were not rich. Her father was a teacher. Her mother worked in a small shop. But they told Sarah, if you want to build bridges, you can build bridges. You have to study hard. You have to be smart. But you can do it. So Sarah studied. She went to school early and came home late. She did her homework. She asked questions. She read extra books. She stayed late in the library. Her friends went to the beach. Sarah went to study groups. Her friends watched movies. Sarah solved math problems. And when she was 18 years old, she got into the best engineering university in the Philippines. Top of her class, full scholarship. Her whole family came to her graduation. Her mother cried. Her father took pictures. Her grandmother said, I always knew you would do this. But for Sarah, it was not the end. It was just the beginning. She wanted more. She did not just want to build bridges in the Philippines. She wanted to build bridges that connected the world. She wanted to work for a big company. She wanted to travel. She wanted to prove that a girl from Manila could do anything. So after university, she worked as an engineer in the Philippines for 3 years. She saved her money. She studied for her visa. She prepared herself. And then one day the email came. A big company in America wanted her. They had seen her application. They had seen her degree. They said, come work for us. We need engineers like you. Sarah was so happy she cried. She called her mother. She called her father. She called her grandmother. She said, I am going to America. I am going to live my dream. Everyone was so proud. Sarah packed her bags. She bought a plane ticket. She said goodbye to everyone she loved. And she flew to America. When Sarah landed in New York, she felt alive. The airport was so big. The buildings were so tall. The streets were so busy. Everything was fast. Everything was huge. Everything was possible. She went to her apartment. She went to the company office. She shook hands with her new boss. He said, Welcome to the team, Sarah. We are excited to have you. Sarah thought, this is it. This is my dream. I am finally here. But then the first day of work came. Sarah walked into the conference room. There was a meeting. Her boss introduced her to the team. He said, Everyone, this is Sarah. She is an engineer from the Philippines. She went to the best engineering school there. She has 3 years of experience. The team said, Welcome, Sarah. And then the boss started talking about the project. He spoke fast. He used words Sarah had studied in a textbook, but they sounded different. She could not understand everything. She wanted to ask a question, but she stopped herself. Her accent is too strong, she thought. When lunch came, the team went to eat together. They talked about American television shows that Sarah had never seen. They made jokes that Sarah did not understand. They laughed. Sarah laughed too, but not because she thought it was funny. She laughed because she wanted to fit in. At the end of the day, her boss asked, "Do you have any questions about the project?" Sarah said, "No, I understand." But she did not understand. She understood maybe 60%. The other 40% was lost. That night, Sarah sat in her apartment and cried. Not because the work was hard. She could do the work. Her degree was real. Her knowledge was real. She had studied the same math. She knew the same physics. She could solve the same problems. She cried because she was afraid. She was afraid that people would find out that she was lost. She was afraid that her accent was too strong. She was afraid that she did not belong. She called her mother in the Philippines. It was 3 a.m. there. Her mother said, "Sarah, what is wrong? Why are you crying?" Sarah said, "Mom, I made a mistake. I should not have come here. These people are smarter than me. My English is not good. I do not fit." Her mother said, "Sarah, you are smarter than you think. You have a degree. You have worked hard. You belong there." But Sarah did not believe it, because in America, she was not a successful engineer anymore. In America, she was just an immigrant with an accent. And that became her new story. That became who she thought she was. Sarah came to America to build bridges, but instead she built walls. She built walls between herself and her co-workers. She built walls between her diploma and her future. She built walls between her fear and her dreams. And every day those walls got thicker. 3 months passed. Sarah was still at the company, but nobody really knew Sarah. She came to meetings. She did her work. She went home. She was like a ghost. The first obstacle was the simplest one. It was her English. Not that her English was bad. Her English was good. She could write emails. She could understand most things. But when she spoke in the meeting, she spoke slowly. She thought about every word. She paused. She searched for the right grammar in her head. And in America, when you pause and think, people think you do not know. They think you are not smart. They think you are not prepared. Sarah's boss would ask a question. Sarah would start to answer. But before she could finish, someone else would jump in. They would talk fast. They would be confident. And Sarah would stop talking. She would let them finish. And every time she let someone else finish, she was saying to the world, "My idea is not important. My voice does not matter." But there was a bigger obstacle than her English. The bigger obstacle was her accent. Sarah had a Filipino accent. When she said the word th, it sounded like D. When she said R, it was sometimes soft. She did not sound like the Americans in the office. And one day, something happened that made everything worse. They were in a big meeting. The vice president was there. The whole team was there. Sarah had an idea about how to solve a problem with the project. It was a good idea. She had thought about it for days. She raised her hand. The vice president said, "Yes, Sarah. What do you think?" Sarah opened her mouth. She said, "I think we could use a different approach. Maybe we could..." And she saw it. She saw someone smile. Not a friendly smile. A small smile. Like they were laughing at her. Sarah stopped. She said, "Never mind. It is not important." The vice president moved on to the next person. But later her co-worker Michael, he came to her desk. He said, "Sarah, what was your idea? I think you were going to say something interesting." Sarah said, "It was nothing. I do not remember." But she did remember. She remembered her idea perfectly. She just did not want to say it out loud anymore. The second big obstacle was invisibility. In the Philippines, Sarah was special. She was the girl who studied hard. She was the one everyone talked about. She was the first in her family to go to university. She was the first to work for an international company. In America, Sarah was one of many. Her office had 50 engineers. 20 of them were from other countries. 15 of them were women. 3 of them had accents like hers. So she was not special anymore. She was ordinary. And when you are ordinary, nobody notices you. When you sit quiet in a meeting, nobody says, "Sarah, I want to hear your ideas." They just move on. Sarah's boss did not dislike her. He was not mean to her. He just did not think about her. In the performance review, he said,
Sarah, you do good work. You are reliable. You finish your tasks.
But he did not say, "Sarah, you are a leader. Sarah, you are someone I trust. Sarah, you are going to be someone important." He said that to Michael. He said that to James. He said that to Tom. But not to Sarah. Because Sarah never spoke up. Sarah never shared her ideas. Sarah never let people know that she was more than just reliable. The third obstacle was the hardest one. It was doubt. Sarah started to doubt herself. She had done this before. In the Philippines, she was confident. She knew she was smart. She knew she could do the work. But in America, that confidence disappeared. She thought, maybe I am not as smart as I thought I was. Maybe my degree does not mean as much. Maybe I really do not belong here. And the more she doubted herself, the smaller she became. She stopped raising her hand in meetings. She stopped sharing her ideas. She stopped eating lunch with the team because she was afraid they would judge her. She just worked. She went home. She sat in her apartment and she felt sad. Sometimes she looked at her diploma. It was in a box in her closet. She did not want to put it on the wall because she thought people would think she was showing off. She did not want to talk about it because she thought people would not believe it was real. So her diploma stayed hidden, and her talent stayed hidden, and her voice stayed hidden. And the worst part was this. The obstacles were not really there. The obstacle was not her boss. Her boss was actually a good person. He just did not see her because she did not let him see her. The obstacle was not her English. Many people in that office spoke English with an accent. Some spoke with a stronger accent than Sarah, but they talked anyway. They shared their ideas. They took up space. The obstacle was not America. America did not tell Sarah to be quiet. America did not tell Sarah to hide her degree. America did not tell Sarah to doubt herself. Sarah did that. Sarah created those obstacles. Sarah built those walls. And the saddest part was this: Sarah was the only one who could take those obstacles down. Nobody else could do it for her. Her mother could not do it from the Philippines. Her friends could not do it. Her boss could not do it. Sarah had to do it herself, but she did not know how. So the walls got higher, and Sarah got smaller, and every day she became more invisible. Now, I need to tell you something. Sarah's antagonist was not her boss. It was not her co-workers. It was not even America. Sarah's antagonist was herself, but not just herself. It was a voice inside her, a voice that whispered to her every single day. The voice said things like, "You do not belong here. Your accent is too strong. People are laughing at you. You will never be as good as them. You should stay quiet. It is safer. Your degree is from another country. It does not count. You are fooling everyone. Yes. One day they will find out you are a fake." This voice had a name. Psychologists call it imposter syndrome. But Sarah just called it her fear. And this fear was powerful. This fear was louder than her boss's voice. This fear was stronger than her knowledge, because knowledge lives in your head. But fear lives in your body. Fear makes your heart beat fast. Fear makes your hand shake. Fear makes your mouth dry when you try to speak. Fear is not logical. You cannot argue with fear. You cannot tell fear, but I have a degree, I am smart. Fear does not listen to logic. Fear only listens to emotion. The voice started small. When Sarah first came to America, the voice was quiet. It said, just be careful. Just listen. Just make sure you do not make any mistakes. That seemed smart. That seemed safe. So Sarah listened to the voice. But as time went on, the voice got louder. The voice said, you should not speak in meetings. People will judge your English. The voice said, you should not eat lunch with the team. They are talking about things you do not understand. The voice said, you should not tell anyone about your degree. People will think you are bragging. The voice said, you should not try for a promotion. Someone else is better than you. And Sarah listened. She obeyed the voice, because when you listen to a voice long enough, you start to believe it is telling the truth. You start to think the voice is protecting you, but the voice was not protecting Sarah. The voice was imprisoning her. The antagonist inside Sarah was not just imposter syndrome. It was something bigger. It was a story that Sarah believed about herself. The story was this: I am from the Philippines. I am not from America. My accent is different. My degree is different. My way of thinking is different. Therefore, I am less. This story started when Sarah landed in America. It started small. Just one little thought. But that one thought grew. It became a belief. The belief became an identity. And the identity became her prison. Sarah stopped seeing herself as an engineer who came from the Philippines. She started seeing herself as someone who did not belong. Someone who was trying to be something she was not. Someone who was pretending. And once you believe that story about yourself, everything confirms it. When someone did not laugh at her joke, Sarah thought, they do not like me because I am different. When her boss did not call on her in a meeting, Sarah thought, he does not think I am smart enough. When someone looked at her while she was speaking, Sarah thought, they are judging my accent. Sarah's brain was looking for evidence that she did not belong, and it found evidence everywhere. Because when you are looking for something, you will always find it. But here is something important to understand. The antagonist was not real. The antagonist was a story. The antagonist was a feeling. The antagonist was fear. And fear is a liar. Fear tells you things that are not true. Fear told Sarah that people were judging her. But most people were not thinking about Sarah at all. They were thinking about themselves. They were thinking about their own work. They were thinking about their own problems. Fear told Sarah that her degree did not count. But her degree was real. She studied for 4 years. She passed difficult exams. She earned that degree. No fear can make that less true. Fear told Sarah that she did not belong in America. But Sarah was legally in America. She had a visa. She had a job. She had the right to be there. Fear cannot change that. The antagonist in Sarah's story was not someone fighting against her from the outside. The antagonist was Sarah, fighting against herself from the inside. And this is true for you too? If you are sitting at home right now thinking, I cannot speak English. I cannot go to that job interview. I cannot raise my hand in class. I cannot tell people about my degree. The thing that is stopping you is not on the outside. It is on the inside. It is a voice. It is a story. It is a fear. And just like Sarah, you have the power to change that story. You have the power to silence that voice. You have the power to face that fear. But Sarah did not know that yet. For a long time, Sarah believed that the antagonist was stronger than her. Sarah believed that the voice was right. Sarah believed that the story about herself was true. And she lived like it was true. But then something happened. Something that would change everything. 6 months after Sarah started working at the company, she was sitting alone in the office cafeteria. It was late. Most people had gone home. Sarah was eating her lunch slowly, reading emails on her phone. She did not want to eat with the team anymore. It was easier to eat alone. A woman sat down next to her. Her name was Jessica. Jessica was an engineer too. She had worked at the company for 5 years. She was smart. She was confident. She spoke in meetings all the time. People listened to her. Sarah had seen Jessica many times, but they had never really talked. Jessica said, "Hi, Sarah. Can I sit here?" Sarah was surprised. She said, "Yes, of course." Jessica said, "I noticed something. You are always alone. You never eat with the team. You never go to the happy hour. You sit in meetings and you do not say anything." Sarah felt embarrassed. She said, "I like to be quiet. I like to work." Jessica said, "I know. I see your work. Your work is good. Your ideas are good. But nobody knows it because nobody hears it." Sarah did not know what to say. Jessica continued, "I want to tell you something. I was like you once." Sarah looked at Jessica. Jessica was confident. Jessica was successful. Jessica was the opposite of Sarah. Sarah said, "No, you were not like me." Jessica said, "Yes, I was. When I first started here, I was terrified. I thought everyone was smarter than me. I thought my ideas were stupid. I thought I did not belong." Sarah said, "But you are American. You grew up here. Thus, you do not have an accent." Jessica said, "I do have an accent. It is a southern accent. I grew up in a small town in Georgia. When I came to New York for this job, I felt like an outsider too. People made fun of how I talked. They made fun of where I came from. I felt small." Sarah listened. She had never thought about it that way. Jessica said, "But then I learned something that changed my life. And I want to tell you because I see myself in you." Jessica leaned forward. She said, "The secret is this. Your voice matters. Not because it is perfect. Not because everyone agrees with you. Your voice matters because it is yours." Sarah said, "But people do not listen to me." Jessica said, "People do not listen to you because you do not speak. But if you speak, they will listen. Not because you are American. Not because you have a perfect accent. But because you have something to say." Sarah said, "What if I make a mistake?" "What if my English is wrong?" Jessica said. "Then you make a mistake. And then you try again." Do you know how many times I have made a mistake in a meeting, too many to count? And you know what? Everyone has made mistakes. Everyone, Sarah said, but they do not seem scared. Jessica said, "They are scared too. Everyone is scared. But scared people who speak up are more successful than quiet people who are also scared. Because at least the scared people who speak up get heard." Then Jessica told Sarah something that changed everything. She said, "Sarah, your diploma is under your bed because you put it there. Nobody forced you. Your fear is in your head because you're feeding it. Every time you stay quiet, you are feeding it. Every time you do not speak, you are saying to your fear, 'You are right. You are stronger than me.'" Sarah felt tears coming. Jessica said, "But here is the good news. If you put your diploma under your bed, you can take it out. If you are feeding your fear, you can stop feeding it. You have the power." Sarah said, "I do not think I am brave enough." Jessica said, "Brave is not a feeling. Brave is an action. Brave is when you are scared, and you do it anyway." After that lunch, everything changed for Sarah. Not immediately, not like a magic spell, but something shifted inside her. Jessica had shown her the secret. The secret was not complicated. The secret was not a formula or a technique. The secret was this. Your value does not disappear just because you do not speak it out loud. Your degree is real. Your knowledge is real. Your ideas are real. They are real whether people know about them or not. But if nobody knows about them, they are useless. Because value only exists when it is shared. A brilliant idea that stays in your head is not a brilliant idea. It is just a thought. A brilliant idea that you share with people can change things. Sarah realized something else too. She realized that Jessica had not become confident because she was American or because she grew up in New York. Jessica had become confident because Jessica had decided to be confident. Jessica had decided to speak even though she was scared. Jessica had decided that her voice mattered, even if it was not perfect. Jessica had decided to take up space. And once Jessica made that decision, people had to listen to her. Not because they wanted to, but because she was there. She was visible. She was heard. Jessica became Sarah's ally. But more than that, Jessica became Sarah's mirror. When Sarah looked at Jessica, she did not see a perfect American woman. She saw a woman who was brave. She saw a woman who had faced her own fear and decided not to let fear win. She saw a woman who had taken her voice back. And for the first time since coming to America, Sarah thought, I can do that too. The secret was not something Jessica gave to Sarah. The secret was something Jessica showed Sarah that had been inside Sarah all along. The secret was that Sarah had the power. Sarah had always had the power. She just forgot. The next week, there was a team meeting. Sarah sat in her usual seat. She was quiet. She was invisible. But this time, something was different. This time, Sarah was listening with a different ear. Her boss was talking about a problem with the project. He said, "We need a new approach. Anyone have ideas?" Nobody said anything. Nobody raised their hand. Sarah felt the old fear. The voice inside her said, "Do not speak. Your English is not good enough. Your accent is too strong. Stay quiet." But Sarah heard something else too. She heard Jessica's voice. Not Jessica talking out loud, but Jessica's words from lunch. Your voice matters, not because it is perfect, because it is yours. Sarah took a breath, and she raised her hand. Her hand was shaking a little bit. Her heart was beating very fast. Her boss said, "Yes, Sarah, what do you think?" Sarah opened her mouth. She said, "I have an idea." Her voice was quiet, but it was there. She was there. She said, "We have been thinking about this problem the way we always think about it. But maybe we need to think about it differently. Maybe we could use the approach I learned in the Philippines. It is a different way, but it works." She explained her idea. She spoke slowly. She paused sometimes. She was not perfect, but she was brave. When she finished, there was a moment of silence. Sarah thought, "They hate my idea. They think it is stupid." Then her boss said, "Sarah, that is interesting. That is really interesting. Can you write this down? Can you show me more about this?" Sarah said, Yes, I can." That night, Sarah did not cry. She smiled. She had spoken, and the world did not end. People did not laugh at her. People did not judge her accent. Her boss wanted to hear more. It was a small moment, but it was huge. Sarah had taken the first step out of her prison. The next meeting, Sarah spoke again. This time, her voice was a little louder. Her hand shook a little less. Her idea was good, and people listened. But Sarah also learned something important. Not every idea is good, and that is okay. In one meeting, she shared an idea, and someone said, "Sarah, I do not think that will work because of X and Y." Sarah felt the old embarrassment. She felt the shame. But then she remembered something Jessica had said. Scared people who speak up are more successful than quiet people who are also scared. So Sarah said, "You are right. I did not think about X and Y. Thank you for pointing that out. What do you think we should do instead?" And instead of feeling like a failure, Sarah felt like a learner. Because that is what real confidence is. Real confidence is not never making mistakes. Real confidence is making mistakes and continuing anyway. 2 months later, Sarah's idea became part of the project. It was not exactly her idea anymore. Other people had added to it. Other people had changed it. It was better because of that. But it was still her idea at the beginning. And when the project moved forward, her boss said to the whole team, this approach came from Sarah. Sarah brought this idea from her experience.
We would not be here
without Sarah's thinking. Sarah felt something she had not felt since coming to America. She felt proud. She felt seen.
But here is the important part of the story.
Things did not get perfect. Sarah's English did not suddenly become perfect. She still had an accent. She still paused sometimes when she spoke. But something changed inside her. Sarah stopped hiding her diploma under the bed. She still did not put it on her apartment wall, but she stopped being ashamed of it. When people asked her about her background, she said, I have an engineering degree from the Philippines. I studied for 4 years. I am proud of it. And when she said it, she meant it. Sarah started eating lunch with the team again, not because she was not nervous. She was nervous. But she was nervous, and she did it anyway. She started going to happy hour. She started talking about her ideas in meetings. She started raising her hand. And something magical happened. When Sarah started speaking, other people started listening. Not because her accent disappeared, not because she became American, but because she became visible. One day a new engineer started working at the company. His name was Marco. He was from Argentina. He was very smart. His work was excellent, but he did not speak in meetings. He did not eat lunch with the team. He was invisible. Sarah saw herself in Marco. She remembered what it felt like to be invisible. So Sarah went to Marco and said, Do you want to have lunch with me? Marco said, I like to eat alone. Sarah said, I know. I used to say that too. But I am going to tell you something. Your voice matters. Not because it is perfect, because it is yours. And Sarah told Marco the same thing that Jessica had told her. Sarah had become the ally for someone else. This is how change happens. Change does not happen overnight. Change does not happen because someone tells you that you are brave, and suddenly you are brave. Change happens one small action at a time. Change happens when you raise your hand, even though you are scared. Change happens when you speak, even though your voice shakes. Change happens when you put your diploma on the wall, not because the world is ready to see it, but because you are ready to show it. And Sarah did all of that, not because she was suddenly confident, but because she decided that her fear was not bigger than her dreams. She decided that her voice was worth hearing. She decided to be visible. 1 year after that first lunch with Jessica, Sarah was in another meeting. But this time, she was not sitting in her usual seat. This time, she was standing at the front of the room. Her boss had asked her to lead the project, not as an assistant, as a leader. Sarah was presenting to the entire department. There were 50 people in the room. Her boss, her co-workers, and people from other departments. Everyone was there to listen to her. Sarah stood there. She was nervous. Her hands were still a little cold. But she was not afraid anymore. She said, My name is Sarah. I came to America 2 years ago from the Philippines. I have an engineering degree from the University of the Philippines. I have 5 years of experience in engineering, and I want to tell you about the project I am leading. And she told them everything. She spoke about the problem. She spoke about the solution. She spoke about the approach that came from her experience in the Philippines. She spoke with confidence. She spoke with pride. And when she finished, the room was quiet. Then people started clapping. They clapped because she had done good work. But they also clapped because she had been brave. Because they could feel that Sarah was not just talking. Sarah was showing up. Sarah was being fully herself. After the presentation, people came to talk to her. They said things like, Sarah, that was an excellent presentation. Sarah, I did not know you had that experience. That is amazing. Sarah, Would you be interested in mentoring some of the junior engineers? Sarah said yes to the mentoring job because Sarah understood something now. When you hide your knowledge, you are not just hurting yourself. You are hurting other people too. You are taking away the chance for them to learn from you. 3 months later, Sarah got a promotion. She was now a senior engineer. Her salary went up. Her title changed. But more than that, her life changed. Sarah had an office now. A small office, but it was hers. And on the wall of her office, she put her diploma. Not because she needed to prove anything to anyone anymore, but because she wanted to see it every day. She wanted to remember where she came from. She wanted to remember that girl from Manila who decided to build bridges. She wanted to remember that she had done it. But here is what is important about Sarah's outcome. It was not just about the job. It was not just about the promotion. It was not just about the money. The real outcome was inside her. Sarah was not invisible anymore. Not because America changed. America did not change. America is still America. People still have biases. People still make judgments. Sarah was not invisible anymore because Sarah stopped making herself invisible. Sarah stopped hiding. Sarah stopped being quiet. Sarah stopped apologizing for who she was. Sarah started taking up space. And when you take up space, people have to see you. Sarah's relationship with herself changed too. Before Sarah looked in the mirror and saw someone who did not belong. Someone who was pretending to be something she was not. Now, when Sarah looks in the mirror, she sees an engineer. She sees a leader. She sees a woman who came from another country and built a life for herself. She sees someone who is worthy. But the most beautiful part of Sarah's story happened after her promotion. Sarah started a mentoring program for immigrant engineers. Every month, she would have lunch with young engineers who had just come to America. Engineers who were scared. Engineers who were invisible. Engineers who were hiding their diplomas under their beds. And Sarah would tell them the same thing that Jessica had told her. Your voice matters. Not because it is perfect, because it is yours. Your diploma is real. Your experience is real. Your ideas are real. You do not have to wait for someone to give you permission to be seen. You can decide to be visible right now. Some of them listened. Some of them did not. But for those who listened, their lives started to change too. Because when you see someone who looks like you, who sounds like you, who came from where you came from, and that person is succeeding, something shifts inside you. You think, if she can do it, maybe I can do it too. Sarah's boss noticed the mentoring program. He was impressed. He said to Sarah, "Sarah, you are not just a good engineer. You are a leader who develops other people. That is rare. That is special." Sarah smiled. Because she remembered a time when she thought she was not special. She thought she was invisible. She thought she did not belong. That was only 2 years ago. 2 years! That is not a long time! But in 2 years, Sarah had completely changed her life. Not because she changed who she was. Sarah is still Sarah. She still has her accent. She still speaks slowly sometimes. She still pauses when she is thinking. But Sarah changed how she saw herself. And when you change how you see yourself, you change everything. The last thing I want to tell you about Sarah is that she still feels fear sometimes. When she is about to do something big, her heart still beats fast. When she is about to speak in front of a lot of people, she still gets nervous. But fear does not stop her anymore. Fear is just information. Fear is saying, this is important to you. This matters. This is why your body is reacting. And Sarah says, thank you for that information. I'm going to do it anyway. That is the real outcome. Not that Sarah is fearless, but that Sarah is brave. And bravery is not the opposite of fear. Bravery is fear plus action. Bravery is when you are scared and you do it anyway. Sarah does it anyway. And because she does it anyway, her life is different. Her career is different. Her confidence is different. Her future is different. But most importantly, her relationship with herself is different. She knows now that she is worthy. She knows now that she belongs. She knows now that her voice matters. And you know what? That knowledge is worth more than any promotion. That knowledge is worth more than any salary. Because once you know that you are worthy, nobody can take that away from you. Not your boss, not your co-workers, not your accent, not your fear. Sarah knows this now, and she carries that knowledge with her everywhere she goes. So that is Sarah's story. But this story is not just Sarah's story. This story is your story too, because Sarah did not have anything special. She did not have perfect English. She did not have an American accent. She did not have connections. She did not have advantages. What Sarah had was a choice, and you have that same choice right now. Lesson number 1. Your diploma is not under your bed because of America. Your diploma is under your bed because you put it there. This is hard to hear. I know. It is easier to blame America. It is easier to blame people who do not understand. It is easier to blame your accent, or your background, or your bad luck. But the truth is simpler and harder at the same time. You are hiding your diploma because you are afraid. You are staying quiet because you are choosing to stay quiet. You are invisible because you are choosing to be invisible. And here is the good news. If you chose it, you can unchose it. If you put your diploma under the bed, you can take it. Take it out. If you decided to stay quiet, you can decide to speak. If you made yourself invisible, you can make yourself visible. It is your choice. It has always been your choice. But you have to be willing to be brave. You have to be willing to feel afraid. And do it anyway. Lesson number 2. Your voice matters, not because it is perfect, because it is yours. Think about it. If everyone in America spoke exactly the same way, said exactly the same words, thought exactly the same thoughts, would that be beautiful? No, that would be boring. What makes the world interesting is that people are different. What makes teams stronger is that people bring different perspectives. What makes companies better is when people with different backgrounds and different experiences speak up and share what they know. Your accent is not a problem. Your accent is proof that you have lived a different life. Your accent is proof that you have seen different things. Your accent is proof that you have something unique to offer. Your English might not be perfect, but perfect English without ideas is just noise. Imperfect English with good ideas is powerful. Lesson number 3. Your fear is a liar, but your courage is a truth teller. Your fear tells you that people will judge you. Your fear tells you that you do not belong. Your fear tells you that you should hide. But your fear is lying, because courage tells the truth. Courage says, I am scared odd and I'm going to do it anyway. Courage says, I do not know what will happen, but I am willing to find out. Courage says, I am worthy and I am going to act like it. And here is the thing about courage. Courage is not something you feel. Courage is something you do. You do not wait until you feel brave. You act brave, and then you become brave. Sarah did not wait until she felt confident. Sarah acted confident, and then confidence came. You can do the same thing. Now, I want to ask you something. Where is your diploma? Is it under your bed? Is it hidden in a closet? Is it in a box, somewhere in your house? Or is your diploma your skills, your knowledge, your experience? Because your diploma is not just a piece of the paper. Your diploma is everything you have learned, everything you have worked for, everything you have survived. Your diploma is the fact that you came to another country and you are still here. Your diploma is that you learned a new language while working a full-time job. Your diploma is that you took care of your family while building a new life. Your diploma is that you did not give up. That is your real diploma. And that diploma is not under your bed. That diploma is inside you. So here is what I want you to do. Starting tomorrow, I want you to make one small choice. One small choice to be visible. Maybe you will raise your hand in a meeting at work. Maybe you will tell someone about your education. Maybe you will speak up instead of staying silent. Maybe you will eat lunch with people instead of eating alone. Maybe you will share one idea instead of keeping it inside. It does not have to be big. It does not have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Because when you make one small choice to be visible, something happens. Your brain starts to believe that you can be visible. And when your brain believes it, your behavior changes. And when your behavior changes, people start to see you. And when people see you, your life changes. But I want to be honest with you. Your life will not change because of this video. Your life will change because of what you do after this video. Your life will change because you take action. Your life will change because you are brave. I also want to tell you this. You are not alone. Right now, there are thousands of people just like you. People with diplomas under their beds. People with fear in their heads. People who are invisible in their own lives. They are sitting in meetings, not speaking. They are eating lunch alone. They are hiding who they are. But some of them are going to watch this video. And some of them are going to decide to be brave. And some of them are going to raise their hands. And some of them are going to speak up. And when they do, their lives will change too. So your story does not end with Sarah. Your story starts now. Here is what I know about you. You did not come to America and build a life here because you were afraid. You did not survive what you survived, learn what you learned, and accomplish what you accomplished because you were invisible. You came here because you are brave. You survived because you are strong. You learned because you are smart. The only thing that changed is that you forgot. But you can remember. You can remember right now. You can remember that you are worthy. You can remember that your voice matters. You can remember that you belong. And when you remember, everything changes. So this is not the end of the story. This is the beginning of your new story. The story where you are not invisible anymore. The story where your diploma is not under your bed. The story where your fear does not control you. The story where you are brave. The story where you take up space. The story where you are seen. That story starts now. And it starts with a choice. What choice are you going to make? Now, let me talk directly to you. Not about Sarah, not about someone else. About you? Because Sarah's story is important, but your story is what matters right now. I want you to think about something. Right now, at this moment, where are you hiding? I do not mean physically. I mean emotionally. I mean professionally. I mean in your life. Are you hiding your education because you're afraid people will judge you? Are you hiding your ideas because you think your English is not good enough? Are you hiding your talents because you're afraid of being seen? Are you hiding yourself because you think the world is not ready for you? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you are living like Sarah was living. You are living in invisibility. And invisibility is a prison that you built for yourself. The walls of that prison are made of fear. The door is locked with doubt. And you are holding the key, but you do not know that you are holding the key. Let me tell you what I see. I see someone who came to America with big dreams. I see someone who worked hard to build a life here. I see someone who did not give up when things were difficult. I see someone who is strong. But I also see someone who is afraid. I see someone who is looking around the room and comparing themselves to other people. I see someone who thinks they are better than me.
They fit better than me.
They belong better than me, but that is a lie. You belong here exactly as much as they do. You are not less because you have an accent. You are not less because you came from another country. You are not less because your education is from somewhere else.
You are exactly as worthy as anyone in that room.
But here is the problem. If you do not believe it, nobody else will believe it either, because belief is contagious. If you believe you are small, you will act small. And when you act small, people treat you small. If you believe you are invisible, you will make yourself invisible. And when you make yourself invisible, people do not see you. But if you believe you are worthy, you will act worthy. And when you act worthy, people treat you worthy. I want to tell you about 3 things that are happening right now in your life. Thing number 1. You are comparing your inside to their outside. You are sitting there thinking about your fears. You are thinking about your insecurities. You are thinking about your doubts. But you are looking at other people and only seeing their surface. You are seeing them being confident. You are seeing them being loud. You are seeing them being successful. What you do not see is their fears. You do not see their insecurities. You do not see their doubts because they hide them, just like you hide yours. But their fears are just as big as your fears. Their doubts are just as loud as your doubts. The difference is that they act anyway. They feel the fear and they do it anyway. They have the doubt and they speak anyway. And that is the only difference. Thing number 2. You are waiting for permission. You are waiting for someone to tell you that you are good enough.
You are waiting for someone to say, your accent is acceptable.
Your education is acceptable. You are acceptable. But that permission is never going to come because the person who has to give you permission is you. You have to look in the mirror and say, I am worthy. I am capable. I belong. You have to give yourself permission to take up space. You have to give yourself permission to be visible. You have to give yourself permission to speak. Nobody can give you that permission except you. And you have been waiting for someone else to do what only you can do. Thing number 3. You are confusing your value with your validation. Your value is not determined by whether people see you or acknowledge you. Your value is real, whether people recognize it or not. But you have been living like your value depends on validation. You have been thinking, if people do not see me, then I am not valuable. That is backwards. Your value exists inside you. Your value is the fact that you studied hard. Your value is the fact that you know things. Your value is the fact that you have survived and you are still standing. That value does not need anyone to validate it. That value is yours. But validation is nice. Validation is affirming. Validation feels good. And you can have validation, but only if you are willing to be visible enough to receive it. Now, let me tell you what is going to happen if you keep doing what you're doing. If you keep hiding your diploma under your bed. If you keep your fear in your head. If you keep yourself invisible. Here is what is going to happen. 5 years from now, you will still be in the same place. Same job, same salary, same invisibility. Your co-workers will get promoted. Your boss will recognize other people. The world will see other people, but you will still be invisible. And one day you will look back and think, what if I had been brave? What if I had spoken up? What if I had let people see me? And you will feel regret. Not because you failed. You did not fail. You worked hard. You did your job. But you will feel regret because you never gave yourself a chance. You never gave the world a chance to see what you're capable of. But here is the good news. That future does not have to happen. You can choose a different future right now. Starting today, you can make a different choice. You can take your diploma out from under your bed. You can silence the fear in your head. You can decide to be visible. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, but it is not that simple. It is not just about making a choice. And you are right. It is not just about making a choice. It is about making a choice and then acting on it every single day. It is about being brave when you do not feel brave. It is about speaking up when you want to stay quiet. It is about being visible when you want to hide. But here is what I know about you. You have already done hard things. You have already made difficult choices. You have already survived things that would break other people. So you can do this too. You can be brave. You can speak up. You can be visible because you have already proven to yourself that you can do hard things. The only question is, are you willing to do this hard thing? Are you willing to be seen? So we are here now. You have heard Sarah's story. You understand the 3 lessons. You know what is happening in your life. But knowledge without action is just information. And information does not change your life. Only action changes your life. So I am going to give you a challenge. A small challenge that you can do today, right now, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, the challenge. I want you to write down 3 things that you have accomplished that you are proud of. And I want you to write them in English, not perfect English, real English, your English. Here are some examples. I graduated with a degree in engineering. I learned English while working full-time. I moved to another country and built a new life. I got promoted at my job. I helped my family immigrate to America. I started a business. I learned how to code. I became a nurse. These are real achievements. These are real accomplishments. Now I want you to write your 3 achievements. And as you write them, I want you to really feel them. Feel what it took to accomplish these things. Feel the hours you worked. Feel the obstacles you overcome. Feel the courage that was inside you to do these things, because those achievements are proof. Proof that you are capable. Proof that you are strong. Proof that you belong. After you write your 3 achievements, I want you to do something else. I want you to read them out loud. Yes, out loud. Not in your head, out loud. Hear yourself saying these words. Hear yourself claiming these accomplishments. Because when you say it out loud, something shifts. Your brain hears it. Your body hears it. Your voice hears it. And they all start to believe it together. Now here is the second part of the challenge. Tomorrow, I want you to do one brave thing. One small thing that scares you a little bit. Maybe you will raise your hand in a meeting and share an idea. Maybe you will tell someone about your education. Maybe you will speak in English when you usually stay quiet. Maybe you will eat lunch with co-workers instead of eating alone. Maybe you will correct someone politely instead of letting them be wrong. Maybe you will say, "I do not understand," instead of pretending you understand. It does not have to be big. It does not have to be dramatic. It just has to be brave. Because bravery is not about doing something huge. Bravery is about doing something real. And when you do one brave thing, tomorrow, you will feel different. You will feel like you are taking your power back. You will feel like you are no longer invisible. And here is the most important part. After you do that brave thing, I want you to notice what happens. Notice that the world does not end. Notice that people do not laugh at you. Notice that nothing bad happens. Notice that maybe, just maybe, something good happens. Because that is what happened to Sarah. She did something brave, and the world responded by seeing her. And the same thing can happen to you. The Community Challenge. I also want to invite you to join our Community Challenge. In the comments below, I want you to fill in this sentence. Tomorrow, I am going to be brave by blank. Write your brave action in the comments. Because when you write it in the comments, you are making a promise, not just to me, but to yourself and to everyone else who is watching. You are saying, I am going to do this. And when you say it out loud, it becomes real. It becomes a commitment. And when you make a commitment, you are more likely to follow through. So fill in that sentence. Write your brave action. Make your promise and then do it. Because your promise matters. You matter. I also want to say something about this channel. This channel is called Everyday Confidence English. But it is not just about English. It is about confidence. It is about knowing that you are worthy. It is about understanding that your voice matters. It is about realizing that you belong. If this message resonates with you, then I want to invite you to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Not because I want you to, but because you deserve to hear messages like this. You deserve to be reminded, yes, that you are strong. You deserve to be told that you are worthy. You deserve to know that you are not alone. Because every week we tell stories like Sarah's story. Stories about ordinary people who did extraordinary things. Stories about people who were invisible and then decided to be visible. Stories about people who had fear in their head and then decided to speak anyway. Stories about people like you. I also want to ask you to like this video, not because I want views, but because when you like a video, you are saying something. You are saying, this matters to me, this is important to me. I want more of this. And your like helps other people find this message. Your like helps other people who are sitting at home feeling invisible. Your like could be the thing that changes someone's life. So like this video. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because right now, someone you know is sitting at home feeling invisible. Someone you know has a diploma under their bed. Someone you know has fear in their head. And when you share this video with them, you are doing what Jessica did for Sarah. You are becoming an ally. You are showing them that it is possible. You are giving them hope. Before you leave, before you close this video, I want you to remember 3 things. Number 1, your diploma is real. Whether people see it or not, it is real. Your knowledge is real. Your experience is real. Number 2, your voice matters. Not because it is perfect, because it is yours. Your perspective is valuable. Your ideas are worth hearing. Number 3, you have the power. Right now, today, you have the power to change your life. You have the power to be visible. You have the power to be brave. Nobody is going to wake you up and do it for you. But you do not need someone to wake you up. You can wake yourself up right now. So here is my challenge to you. Take action today. Write your 3 achievements. Read them out loud. And tomorrow, do one brave thing. Because your life is waiting for you. The real life. The visible life. The brave life. That life is waiting for you to claim it. So claim it. Before we say goodbye, I want to sit with you for a moment. Just you and me. I want you to know something. I see you. I see you sitting there, feeling small. I see you doubting yourself. I see you wondering if you are good enough. I see you. And I want you to know that what you are feeling is valid. Your fear is real. Your doubt is real. Your struggle is real. But your worthiness is also real. Your capability, it is also real. Your strength is also real. I want to tell you something that might sound simple, but I need you to really hear it. You are enough, not tomorrow, not when your English is perfect, not when you get promoted, not when you have more money or a bigger house. You are enough right now, in this moment, with your accent, with your imperfect English, with your fear. You are enough. I know that life has been hard for you. Coming to America was brave. Building a new life was brave. Learning a new language while working was brave. You have already proven your courage 1,000 times over. So today I am not asking you to find new courage. I am asking you to remember the courage that is already inside you. Remember it. Feel it. Let it guide you. There is something I want you to carry with you after this video ends. I want you to carry the knowing that you are a person of value, not because of your job, not because of your education, not because of what other people think, but because you exist, because you are human, because you have a voice, and that voice deserves to be heard. The world needs what you have to offer. The world needs your perspective. The world needs your ideas. The world needs your voice. Because there is nobody exactly like you. There has never been anyone exactly like you. And there will never be anyone exactly like you again. You are unique. You are irreplaceable. You are needed, so do not hide anymore. Take your diploma out from under your bed. Silence the fear in your head. And let the world see you, the real you. I want to end with a promise to you. A promise from me to you. I promise that every week I will be here. I will be here telling stories. I will be here reminding you that you are strong. I will be here showing you that you are not alone. Because I believe in you. Even when you do not believe in yourself, I believe in you. I believe that you can do hard things. I believe that you can speak up. I believe that you can be visible. I believe in you. So take care of yourself this week. Be gentle with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. And be brave. Be brave enough to do one small thing that scares you. Be brave enough to claim your value. Be brave enough to be seen. I will see you next week. And I hope that you will come back and tell me what brave thing you did. I hope you will fill in that comment and share your promise. I hope you will be part of this community of brave people, because that is what we are here. We are brave people. We are people who survived. We are people who built new lives. We are people who refuse to give up. So let us stop hiding. Let us stop being invisible. Let us be brave together. Until next week, remember this. Your diploma is real. Your voice matters. You have the power and you belong. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being brave enough to watch this video. I am so proud of you. I will see you next week. Take care of yourself. You are worth it.